Today we are doing a My Money, My Way mini lesson. We're on day 6 of 6. So this is all about celebrating the new release of my new book, My Money, My Way. And so we are just doing some mini lessons, kind of highlighting some of the action steps given in the book. And that's what this is all about. And like I said, we're on day 6, and today is all about investing in yourself. Now, in the book, we're talking about chapter 12, but in the book, chapter 11 and chapter 12 are all about retirement and investing. We called this chapter Investing in Yourself because I knew that when you start investing outside of just retirement goals, everyone will be investing for different reasons, different goals, different priorities, with different risk tolerances, with different time horizons. So this is really about growing wealth and investing in yourself for your own dreams and what you want to accomplish with your money. So I want to note, this is a very important note, that all of the mini lessons that we have done up to this point, day 1 through day 5, have led up to this building block of becoming a smart investor. It's really important that all the other building blocks, the mini lessons, the homework that we have covered up to this point has been completed and established before we move on today. So I'm glad I'm saving this video. If you need to come back to it, if you feel like you need more time doing the homework, I hope you do, because a lot of the homework that I gave you cannot be done in one day. It's a transformation, it's a process. But I think that's really important to mention, because when you think about investing, most people feel overwhelmed or confused or intimidated. Maybe they don't know how to even take that first step. I know investing has become a really big popular topic, and there has been a lot of push that we have seen online to start investing as soon as possible. But during all of this kind of information that I've been seeing, and I've been in the investment world since 2012, I have never seen quite as much popularity around this topic as I have the last couple of years. And I think that's just with the times that we're seeing. A lot more people are working from home, or they're wanting more new, better ways to grow their money. So they're curious. And in that curiosity, they started learning about investing. The problem with this, though, in all of this information, I have yet to hear one person say, not everyone belongs in the stock market. I think that is a statement that needs to be said more often. Does that mean that to never start investing? No. It means that there's a difference between being an investor and being a smart investor. When you start investing, your goal is to grow wealth. And so when you're doing that process, you want to make sure that you are setting yourself up where you can reap those benefits in the best way possible. Investing is risky enough. We don't want to take even on more risk by not truly understanding what we're going to be talking about today. And that's laying a really strong investing foundation. Now, in the book, I go into different retirement accounts, different types of investments, all of those things. And chapter 11 is all about retirement. Chapter 12, we're going into more of the nitty-gritty detail of what type of investments there are and blah, blah, blah. But today, if I were to talk about those 2 chapters, we could be here for 2 hours. The mini lesson, right? You're busy, I'm busy. And so I wanted to make sure that you stepped away with clear, actionable homework. And I'm hoping that you feel a little more confident about your investing transformation, especially on this new journey that you are on. So today we're going to be talking about my Investment Readiness Assessment quiz. This is made up of 7 questions. And the goal is to be able to answer every single question with a yes. Okay, you want to score 100% on this assessment quiz by answering yes to all the questions. So I'm hoping that each person that takes the assessment test can answer yes before actually taking the action of investing. You know, I can come on today and say, oh, to start investing, you have to find a broker. It can be Fidelity, it can be Vanguard, it can be Charles Schwab. From there, you're going to want to open an investment account, whether that's a brokerage, non-retirement individual account, a Roth IRA, or an IRA, depending on your tax consequences later on in life, your income restrictions and qualifications. Oh, and then you need to put the money in that account, and then you need to figure out what you want to invest in. You need to actually invest the money. Ta-da, you are now an investor. I can lay it out in terms like that. Those are the process and steps to investing. But unless you understand why you're taking each one of those steps, and not only that, understanding what account you are investing in, what type of investor you are, what goal you have around investing. So this assessment is going to help you get to a place where you know exactly the action step that you want to take next when it comes to investing. So the first question on my investment readiness quiz is, do you have an emergency fund? You want to answer yes to all of these questions. Why is an emergency fund important on your investment journey? You never want to invest money you can't afford to lose. And what does that mean? It means that you don't want to invest money where you're going to have to end up liquidating assets for an emergency in your life. So having an emergency fund established ensures that you can keep your money invested, take benefit of that compound growth without interrupting that process. We're doing it, remember, for the benefits of investing. And one of the worst things that we can do is liquidating our investments early due to emergencies. Because the moment that you liquidate or cash out your assets, it's the only way to lose when it comes to investing. So it's really important to have that emergency fund established. If you're asking me, Miko, how big should my emergency fund be before I think about investing? I'm saying it should be at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. Now, in my brand new book, we talk My Money, My Way, we talk about emergency funds and what that means to you. And it's kind of funny, you know, when I was writing this book and going through my transformation over the years, emergency fund means different things to different people. My emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of expenses, period, across the board. Not just living expenses, not just necessities, but what I am truly spending every month. So my variable spending, my savings and investment contributions, my minimum debt payments, all of that is included in my emergency fund. Then there are some people who believe only emergency fund should only be for living and necessity expenses of 3 to 6 months. This is up to you. For me, I feel comfortable knowing that if emergency hits my life, I don't have to stop the quality of my life or my financial goals or really anything that I'm doing consistently with my spending. I don't want to change anything. And so that's why it was important for me to go that route. Question number 2, have you paid off all high interest debt? Why is this important for investing? Remember, we're answering yes to all these questions. The whole point of investing is to grow your money over time. Now, historically, the market has produced returns between 9 and 11% annually over the long term. If you are investing and also paying off, say, 16 to 18% interest on your debts, you're losing money. You're not growing money. So we want to ensure that we take care of that high interest debt. Question number 3, are you meeting your retirement goals? Today we are talking about investing for yourself, and retirement is definitely part of that equation. But I'm talking about, people ask me a lot, like, Mika, when you are saving up money to buy your dream home with cash, it was a large amount, right? They're like, did you just let that sit in a savings account? I didn't. I invested the money. It was my plan to have that money there for 2 or more years. It was a little risky of me to put it into investments, but it was part of my financial plan that I had set for myself. I was okay and comfortable with taking that risk. Now, it worked out fine in the end, right? It could have gone another way. It worked out fine in the end, where I ended up with about a 7% return on my money by doing that. And I invested in just a non-retirement individual brokerage investment account. So we're talking about, okay, we've done all the building blocks, and chapter 11 in my book goes over retirement. We talk about a retirement progression in your life. Now we're talking about the things where we want to see growth with our money outside of just our retirement. This could be saving for your child's education. This could be doing what I did, investing your money to one day hopefully buy a house or to build a house. Okay, we're talking about long-term goals here. Everyone is very familiar with my saying, don't leave the big dreams for the millionaires. This is your big dreams. And it's one of those things, these are the dreams that we see ourselves accomplishing in the future. So we're not talking about big, ginormous dreams that we want to invest in, that we want to reach in under a year. We're talking more of a medium, long-term goal. So I only recommend investing outside of retirement only after making progress on your retirement sequence. And we go over in the retirement sequence in chapter 11. What's one of the things on that sequence? If you have an employer-sponsored plan, you are contributing up to the max that you can for that employer match. You are taking full advantages of the benefits you are being offered with your retirement, employer-sponsored retirement account that you are offered through your job. So number 4, do you have money to invest? Remember, we're answering yes to all the questions. Number 4 is all about the mini lesson that we went to on day 3 and 4. When we set our budget and we did our red light, green light test that we talked about in the mini lesson that we had a couple days ago. Red light, green light test is income minus expenses. Are you in the red or are you in the green? Red light means stop. Hold on. Red flag here. It's time to analyze what's going on. Is this a spending problem or is it an income problem? Green means go. I have some extra income I can work at throwing towards financial goals like investing. All right. So in day 4 mini lesson, we talked about the red light, green light test when you subtract your income from the spending that you have going on in your life. Do you have money left over? And how much do you have to dedicate consistently to investing? Now, people are under this misconception that you have to have a lot of money to start investing. I mean, I've even seen things out there where to invest in mutual funds, you need $3,000. That is not true at all. I know, because I started investing in mutual funds with $50 a month, with zero. It was literally, I opened the account with $0 and invested $50 a month. And that was in my son's 529 investment account. And that was in mutual funds. So it's not the amount that you have to invest is not as important as having a clear understanding if you have the money to invest with a long-term mindset consistently. That's the most important. You can start investing with as little as $25, $50 a month. So number 5, and we're answering yes to these questions. have you identified your investment strategy? What type of investor are you going to want to be? I'm a boring investor. I'm a long-term boring investor, and I'm okay with being boring. I am more of a passive investor, which means that I rely and have an investment advisor choose my different investment. He goes in and allocates my different investment accounts. He helps me with my tax strategy and how that works into my retirement planning for my very unique goals, like retiring early. I have a very hands-off approach. And I made the decision, I am comfortable paying that management fee, having an investment advisor. Okay, that was something I was comfortable doing. There are a lot of people who are more active investors. These are people, and I'm also an active investor. I have my own investment accounts that aren't managed by someone else. Guess who they're managed by? Just me. I open the account, I pick what I want to invest in, I reallocate, I'm in there looking at things that are going on. I'm actively managing my account. This is more a hands-on approach, and it's okay to do this. It's very easy to start investing being an active investor and being a long-term investor like I am. It just means that you are saying, hey, I'm going to open my own account. I'm going to choose what I'm investing in, and I'm going to decide when I need to reallocate or what needs to happen with my account, rather than having someone else making those decisions for you. And so let me give you an example of what that might look like to get a clearer understanding. That's you saying, I am going to open a non-retirement brokerage investment account at TD Ameritrade. And I'm going to invest in a target date fund, ETF. One fund, one ETF gives you the diversification that you need and the rebalancing as you get older, all with one ETF. We call those target date funds. For me, this is the easiest way for someone to start investing. And target date funds can be in 529s, they can be in retirement accounts, they can be in non-retirement accounts. It's the easiest way for people to dip their toes and start investing without the overwhelm of, what do I start investing in? How do I diversify my portfolio? And investing in all these different things. It's one single fund, and it does all the diversification and rebalancing for you. And I go into the book all about target date funds. So, what is your investment strategy? You have to think about that. All right, question 6. Do you know and understand your risk tolerance? This is about not to just start investing, but to ensure that you are financially and mentally ready to start investing. The only way that you can lose is by liquidating and pulling out your assets. Why is understanding your risk tolerance so important? You have to ask yourself, what risk are you comfortable taking? Remember, this is about being mentally ready as well. How much risk can you emotionally withstand as a smart investor? And it's okay if you say, Miko, not very much risk. I am that type of person. I lean towards safer investments because I don't feel comfortable with the risk. Even though I'm fairly young and I should have a pretty risky portfolio at this stage in my life, I'm a little bit different. I tend to lean toward a safer portfolio just because risk makes me uncomfortable. Does that mean that I can't invest? No. It just means that it helps me decide what things I want to invest in. So if you invest, $1,000 and all of a sudden you see a drop in the market and you lose $200 one day and you're stressing out and you're on freak out mode and can't handle it, and so you call and you say, liquidate my investments, pull me out right now, I don't want to lose any more money. At that moment, you are being controlled by your emotions. You are making investment decisions based around your fear and your intolerance to risk. And My Money, My Way, my brand new book, My Money, My Way, is getting to a point where those emotions no longer control you. Instead, you are controlling your emotions. Remember, this is about using your emotions as a very powerful tool in your tool bag to propel you into financial success, not to hinder you. And so if you're saying right now, I cannot handle a big drop, then you kind of know, okay, hey, I need to look into investments that aren't as risky. Maybe something with more bonds than stocks. Number 7, have you clarified your investment goal and time horizon? And this is where I see a lot of people getting tripped up, and they're sitting here online watching TikTok, YouTube, all these different investment influencers out there, especially it's been crazy what's been happening with investing just because of TikTok, social media platforms like TikTok. They're sitting there in bed scrolling and they happen upon a TikTok about investing. You need to invest now. Invest as early as you can. You're missing out. And so they go and they invest without understanding or even having a clear goal with what that money and purpose is for. If you don't clearly define your goal, your investment goal and purpose for the money that you are investing and time horizon, then it's really hard to understand what type of account you want to open, what type of investments you want to invest in, and even answer the question, is investing even right for that type of goal? So remember, the riskier the investments, the higher chance of rewards, right? That said, it's important to understand how long you will have until you will need the money that you're investing. If it's less than a year, I never recommend that you invest that money if it's less than a year. It might not be worth taking on the risk of losing money because you don't have a long time horizon to average out your returns. When people start investing, they think that growth looks like this on a graph, right? That it's one line going up. When reality, investing looks like this. It's like all these ups and downs. And what catches us off guard is those times when it goes boop, boop, when it's down like this. And so I never recommend investing short-term goals. You can stick it in a high-yield savings account and look at some other possible short-term saving strategy for that money. Investing in yourself starts with dreaming really big. When I had my dream of buying my home with cash, that was a big dream. But I didn't start on that journey only thinking about that big goal. I dreamt big, but I started small. And so focusing on those small actions you can take to get to that big dream. Investing is part of that equation. And so one of those actions is learning more about investing. My Money, My Way is all about giving you a foundation of financial fulfillment and finding 3 things in your life: confidence, clarity, and stability. And part of confidence in your ability to learn more. So let's talk about the homework today. We're going to lay the foundation of becoming a smart investor. And know and realize right now that if you're saying to yourself, Miko, I am not ready to start investing, that's okay. There's no shame in that. If you're not investing at this exact moment because you're like, I need to learn a little bit more about this subject until I feel like I'm a smart investor, that's okay. I'd rather you be a smart investor than just investing for the pure crap and giggles of it. I want you to take my Investment Readiness Assessment, questions 1 through 7. And it's okay if you have a no to one of those questions, because remember, this is about figuring out, hey, where can I get a little bit better with financial fulfillment and really having clarity around doing this in the best way possible. So if you write a no next to that question, then you know you can come back to it and say, okay, I'm going to work on this one. This is my goal. And then today for your homework, I want you to write down a plan on how you are going to learn more about investing for yourself. Will you read a new book about investing? Will you take a free training? Will you follow a YouTube channel or a podcast that goes over investing? Okay. I do have some amazing investment videos saved here on my Instagram. In fact, we did a whole investing week one week here at the Budget Mom, and I really go into a lot more detail about Roth IRAs, 529s, traditional IRAs, 403bs, all these different 401ks, different college savings options for investment for your kiddos. If that's something that you want to look into, that's all saved here in my videos here on Instagram. Another resource is my book. I have a ton more investing stuff on here in this book in chapter 12 going over investments. So I want you to write down 2 action steps that you can take to build your knowledge around investing for yourself. And remember, we're all here building a foundation to grow and to learn. That is the homework. And don't worry, I'll put this all in the description of this video. That is it. Day 6 of our My Money, My Way mini lessons. And it has been a journey. And I do recommend going back to our mini lessons before and making sure that we complete all that homework before. Remember, this is building blocks. We're building a foundation that you are going to build your own financial plan on. If you haven't already, oh my gosh, I saw the cutest picture today. Someone had shared their cute little sweet little boy holding my book, My Money, My Way. And it touched my heart, honestly. It was the cutest thing. I'm like, I don't even have a picture of my son holding my book. I don't know. It just brought my heart so much happiness. If you know someone whose life can be changed with this information of truly taking back control of their financial lives, doing it in their own way without shame, without guilt, with their own dreams and goals, have them pick up a copy of my brand new book, My Money, My Way, Taking Back Control of Your Financial Life. You can get this at any major retail, Barnes & Noble, Target, or on thebudgetmom.com/My Money, My Way. And thank you so much for doing all 6 days of mini lessons with me, and I'll be back on, I'm sure, on another video or live in the future. Bye guys.